Beheard here. Be sure to hit the notification bell because YouTube is stupid, and the only way that you'll be able to see my videos is if you're super active on my channel or you hit that notification bell. So please do so. Now enjoy the video. YouTube land, what's good? It's your boy Beheard, aka Brian, aka Prince, aka Prince Vegeta out there hating. If you don't know me, future FGC commentator, hopefully, if I get my ass to a damn event. But yeah, so this is a weekly news recap for any CPT tour event. I also cover different games such as Dragon Ball and Street Injustice 2, but yeah, we usually cover the Capcom Pro Tour, because that's usually at the most events, or the bigger events, if you will. So that's what we're gonna do. And this weekend we had 3 different events, so in 3 different areas too. We had one in France, we had one in Australia, and we had one in Canada. So really, it's all about if you can afford it and you can go to these venues, which one you're gonna choose. But one was a premiere and 2 were ranking events, and we're gonna start off with the premiere event, Stunfest 2018. And I actually enjoyed this event. This is the event that I've watched the most, because obviously a lot of them were kind of hard to watch. But I had watched this event the most, and it was a doozy, if you ask me. Fujimura, aka formerly known as Yukadon. I understand why he changed his name now. I actually looked up the definition, and yeah, makes all the sense in the world. And don't blame him. Took first place. Infiltration took second. Oil King, with a godlike run of his own, had third. Daigo, the GOAT, the beast, took fourth. Kinu, I think UK or European player. Let me say that. European player Gao took fifth. NL took fifth as well. Haitani took seventh, and Gachikun took seventh as well. And now, like I said before, this was a premiere event, so 700 points were up for grabs, and there was killers at this event. Just listen to the noticeables. Usually on the list a couple noticeables, but I had to write so many down for this event alone. Crazy. I can't wait to see next week. We're gonna dabble into next week at the end, though. We're gonna dabble into it. Some 9th place finishes: Dogura, John T, Rashid player, Takawuchi. I don't know how to say his last name, so that's why I always say John T, so I'm sorry. Udo! That's just 9th place. 13th place, Luffy, Phenom, Itabashi Zangief. That's just a couple. 17th place, Smug, Goichi, Momochi, Storm Kubo. That's just 17th place. 25th place, Punk, Moke, Bonchan, Alex Myers. That's just 25th place. 33rd, Ricky Ortiz, I'm Still the Daddy, and just one noticeable 49th place, which actually I didn't know 49th place doesn't get any points at all, which sucks so bad. But Gunfight, the Alex player, bruh, that tournament was filled to the T with nothing but stiff competition. Oh my goodness. And one thing I had to say about Fujimura, actually, no. Let's start off with Oil King. Oil King plays so crisp, and then somebody even said in the comment section, he's like, Oil King might be the best pro in the game. First of all, he got the swagger. You know, he does rock the short shorts. I'm rocking the short shorts. Again, I would show you, but I don't want to get my YouTube video to demonetize, even though it's not monetized at all. So I took that from me, but that's neither here nor there. Best dress, clean gameplay, and just a smooth brother. Like, shouts out to Oil King. If I ever meet you, I'm like, yo, you smooth as hell. I respect that. And then he played so smooth, like, and then he had like the sickest, like, almost like Dragon Ball-esque kind of move. You know, Infiltration did his super or CA, and as Oil King was landing, I'm talking about as soon as his feet touched the ground, the input for the CA was inputted, nullified Infiltration's super because he's playing Jury at the time. And then he, like, I don't know if he won the round. I don't think he did, but he nullified one super with his own super, and then got into position to had a chance to win the round. And both of them were close. I think he even nullified the chip damage, because he was, I don't know if he was at the tail end. One of them was at the tail end. I have to watch the clip again, but it was so godlike that you're like, oh, Oil King's on fire. And then someone said that, like, he had, like, oh, Oil King's usually not in this situation, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, look, man, it's Street Fighter 5. It depends on everybody's day. It depends on who you... Look, this is the factors I think a tournament depends on. Obviously, if you're good enough to play, you're good enough to play. You're going to put yourself in multiple scenarios to where you'll have the best chance to win. That's just facts. I don't care what anyone says. But if you, like, it depends on who you play, when you play them, and how you're playing that day. If you're anti-air and everything, inputs are coming out crisp as ever, no problems, you're going to do well. And I think Oil King showed that. He showed that that was his day. Him and Fujimura had themselves a day. Like, they definitely were the best players, I think, that day. I think. Now, I'm not saying they're the best players in the world, but, you know what I'm saying. Akinu, the guy player, it was actually dope, because usually they'll post something, when Capcom takes a break, they show matches, right? So they showed a match between Phenom and Luffy at some event. I didn't actually get to catch the event, but it was like a last year event. And then they showed a match with Akinu versus Dogoran. And he played well in that match. I think he actually won that match. I think that was last year as well. I think he's going to get the rub off this. And what I mean by the rub off of this is he's probably going to be like one of those top players now, as far as like the Europe scene goes. I'm not saying he's not already one, but I'm saying as one of those top players that compete and plays well, like a Problem X, a Luffy, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature. And that's the thing that you get out of these tournaments is you get that rub, you get that, like, you don't know how good it really is until you play good. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't know how good you really are until you play someone who's at that so-called level. And I feel like this is going to help. Even though he didn't play that great in top 8, I feel like this is going to help him. And he's going to be ready. I don't know what the next event is, but I obviously know who he is now. Now, to me, he's a household name. Now I have to pay attention to when he's on the screen and he's playing. Like, that's just real rap. And I feel like that's the best thing. Like, especially like when I start doing my commentary. When I start doing my commentary, I'm going to get that rub from doing commentary at an event. Because it's one thing to do an online event. I think I got the good grasp of an online event. Like, I know how to work the crowd and things of that nature. But it's doing that stuff like this. Like, actual venues. Like, I need to go do that. That's what I need to get good at. And that's different. So. And then also, what else did I want to talk about? Oh, Fujimura's incredible run. Like, Fujimura earned this premiere event. He earned it in the highest degree of earning nativityism there is. Yes, the word, don't look it up, trust me. Just trust your boy here. Just trust me. He was on winner's side, lost to Daigo. Obviously, it's Daigo the Beast. Like, my man's 1-6 evil. He got a book, he got an anime. He got a manga that I actually want to read now. He like, the man has done it all. He got like 5 sponsors. His name is getting to the point to where they can't even fill up the little box up top. Like the little box where it says like Daigo. It says like CYB, Red Bull, Twitch, this, that, and Daigo. Like, it's getting ridiculous. He lost to Daigo winner side. Then beat Goichi 2-0. Then beat Fudo 2-0. Then beat Gachikun 3-0. Then Akinu 3-0. Then Daigo got the salty run back 3-0. And then 6-0'd Infiltration. So he was on loose side, reset the bracket, then beat him 3-0. And I believe that Infiltration stayed Monat the whole time. I would have loved to see the jury, but even though the jury's probably a weaker matchup, honestly, I thought Cien was probably the best Ibuki, but now Fujimura is probably the best Ibuki. I'm just like, I'm convinced that he's the best Ibuki. We'll see. A lot of foreshadowing in this video, especially with that behind me. We'll see this weekend, but I think he is. And Infiltration, I mean, it's 500 points difference, but at the same time, he was at the top of the top, so I don't think it's actually that big of an issue that that he lost. You got second place at a premier event. Still a good day at the office. You're still right there. You're still going to be in Capcom Cup. And it's weird too, because I feel like Infiltration, is obviously one of the best Street Fighter 5 players. Like, period. He won the first Evo. He plays really well that year. Kind of not. I don't want to say fell off last year, but he was going through things. Like he was obviously a busy man. I think he got married. A lot of changes, changed teams, things of that nature. But you're forgetting how good that this man really was, and you're like, oh yeah, he really does this. Like he's really good at the game. Yeah. So shouts out to that man, Infiltration. I think he's still second right now. And Dragon Ball was there obviously, and then I mean it's getting to the point where you know how people say like, oh, Sonic Fox wins everything. I don't want to. Why? Like when Injustice or Mortal Kombat announces like a tournament for whatever set game, they're like, why would I want to give Sonic Fox my money because I know he's gonna win it. It started to get to that point with Goichi. Like my man's out here on a tear. Hillgura took second though, and that's I think the training partners, their teammates, training partners, all that. Kazunoko took fourth. Punk actually, taking fifth with Moke. Chris G took seventh, and Momochi took seventh. Oh my God, who's gonna beat this man? I think he lost once, and I think it was to Sonic Fox. Other than that, he's never lost in tournament. It's actually crazy. And I want to know like a statistic too, like how many characters have he lost? Because I bet you it's probably not a lot. If he's only lost once in tournament, I don't think he loses a lot of characters too. Just the way he plays and how clean he plays. Oh man. And Dragon Ball is just one of those games where I'm in love with right now because like I learn something new every day. Like I probably have maybe 4 teams I can play. Not confidently, but like 4 teams I can mess around with and actually do well and have some success with. But man, that game's fun. And I think Zamasu and Vegito come out soon. Like I think this week soon. We'll see. Hopefully. Or next week. I don't know. We'll see though. Let's talk about BAM. BAM was the Australia event, Battle Arena Melbourne. I think that's the actual initials for it. And this was a ranking event, so this was up for 150 points. And anyone who won their event, regardless if it's a ranking or a premier event, that was the smartest decision. I think. I'm going to tell you why. Because you get a guaranteed points. You know what I'm saying? Like, you winning the event, that's the for sure points that goes to you. Now, I mean, obviously you want the most points possible, so I think everybody who finished 4th and higher, actually everybody who finished 3rd and higher, it was worth it to go to that premiere. But Tokido, and this is one thing I like too, is like the events were, I would say, spread out pretty evenly. Besides the fact that obviously ranking the premiere and everybody want more points, so they're going to go to premiere. But I would say they're spread out pretty evenly. Tokido took first place with Akuma. Cien took second with Izabuki. Berlin took third, with Cammy. Also, Berlin is in my boy El Chicote's bracket for combo breaker. So good luck to my boy. Brandon, just Brandon. You know what I'm saying? Like Peter off of Deadpool 2. If you've seen it, I just showed up, saw the ad, just showed up. I'm just making fun of the casual name of Brandon. I'm not making fun of the player. Obviously, he does my stuff. Took 4th. RB took 5th. Juina took 5th with Akuma as well. So Somatic took 7th with Bison, and Red Salmon took 7th as well. I'm sorry if I butcher these names. I gotta hear the names. I bet BAM was the only event I really didn't get to listen to, so I do apologize if I'm butchering the names. Tekken was there. Nee took 1st place. Saint took 2nd. UIU Jay Dunning took 3rd, and JDCR actually took 5th. So that's wild. That's weird. I haven't seen JDCR's name outside of the top 3 in a while. So that's crazy. And Injustice was there. I think Waz and Ghost Police and 950 Leo took 3rd, 1, 2, 3 respectively. So shouts out to them. Shouts out to them for having Injustice. I do not know about these players. They didn't have who they played listed, so I would love to see these players at Combo Break, especially with the Injustice Pro Series starting there. So I would love to see that. So hopefully it's there. And then the Toryuken event was in Canada, and this was a ranking event as well. Just as Wong took 1st place with Manat and Folk, and it's weird too because I feel like Justin Wong is one of those guys that he could get every single character to that point, to whatever you consider Justin Wong's skill level at. I feel like he could bring any character that he really wants to that point. And I feel like he plays all waifus. He plays Monat, Karen, and Folk. Not saying that they're my waifus, but I'm saying like all female characters. It's just some small observation I had. Problem X, instead of going to France, he came here. Got second place. Wasn't a bad day at the office. 70 points. You know, he had his Bison and Abigail, obviously. Knuckle Dude was there too. He got third with Guile and Cammy. CJ Truth. I want to say CJ to the Truth. I don't know. But, took fourth place. Sabor took fifth with Urian. Flux Waves took fifth with Armika. Shout out to him. Vastan, one of the few Vega players, did well. Took seventh. And Shy Riddy took seventh as well with Chun-Li. And Peppery Splash took first in Guilty Gear and Dragon Ball, so shouts out to him. And Joey Fury took first with second. I enjoyed this weekend of just 3 events. It's very rare that you see that, you know what I'm saying? Especially with one not being like an online event. It's very rare that you actually get 3 actual events that people went out to. And like I said, I felt like it was spread pretty evenly. Because if you look at the top players, like household names, if you will, it was tied 3-3 as far as top 8 is concerned. As far as top 8 concerned for Bam and Toryuken, you know, they had Taquito, Cien, Berlin. I would say that's 3 household names. And then I would say Toryuken had Justin Wong, Problem X, and Knuckle Dude. It's 3 household names. And then everybody else pretty much went to the premiere. So I felt like that's a good side. Like, you want tournaments represented well, so tournaments could do well. So like they could not brag, but say to sponsors like, hey, we was able to get Justin Wong, Problem X, and Knuckle Dude here. We can get good players here at these tournaments. So I definitely think you should show up at these tournaments. You know what I'm saying? I think that's good, and that's good. That helps the team. So I definitely believe in that, and I definitely think you should do that as well. That was it for tournaments this past weekend, but let's talk about E-League. E-League was very interesting. They started out with the first 5 set between JB and Commander Jesse, which I actually liked that. I was, we're going to start off with it. JB ended up taking it, so JB got the guarantee, and JB kind of was like the man to beat this season, right? Like, the man to beat, head honcho, #1 seed, I would say, and he rightfully deserved it and earned it. So, the way that they set it up, too, is like they said they was going to run a tournament for the second spot, which I kind of figured, because it was like, you ran the final match so early that it's like, well, what are you going to do for the rest, like, the other 45 minutes of the show? But the way that they did the tournament is, I kind of don't like it. Reason being is, I get why they did it for TV purposes, and they basically did a ladder. So like, whenever you were eliminated, you got to play the next person eliminated, and then you go all the way to Jesse, and then whoever beats Jesse basically will get the second spot. So it's weird too, because it's like Commander Jesse, I feel like, was the second best player. Like, if I'm being honest, I would say the first player is JB, second player is probably Commander Jesse. Third was a toss-up for me. I thought third could have been like Rob, but I think Guilty got him the best of them twice. So you have to say Guilty out of respect. So I would say Guilty. Fourth place would probably Rob, and then Deyasha, Sherry Jennings, and LTG was actually like kind of like toss-ups, but Sherry Jennings played really well, and I was actually happy for her. She deserves it. She's a good player. But yeah, they did it that way. I wish they would have done like a round robin, because say Deyasha's worst matchup, I'm just speaking hypothetical, is, well, he lost to Guilty, right? Yeah, say it's Guilty. What if he beats everybody else? So you don't deserve a spot? You know what I mean? Like, I wish they would have done something like that. But, so, it was Sherry Jennings versus Low-Tier God, and Sherry Jennings beat Low-Tier God pretty convincingly. Then she beat Deyasha. Then she took Raw TV to the last round, Like she was on a tear. She lost. Then my brother, Rob TV, had to play Guilty. Won the first 2 games. I was like, and then he just blew a lead, dog. Oh, it's so sad for him. I'm so sad. He lost. It was yeah, that's my brother too. He lost. And then, excuse me. It was Commander Jesse versus Guilty, and Commander Jesse ended up winning, and he took the spot. And it's going to be Commander Jesse and JB in the E-League. E-League starts June 1st, so that's real soon. That's got to be next week, right? I almost want to say it's next week. Yeah, June 1st, next week, probably. So that's going to be super exciting to see. But also, I wonder, it depends on like how people go to tournaments and stuff like that. But I mean, E-League's 150,000 cash prize. Be interesting to see if Punk is able to defend his title. And I wonder how they're going to do Commander Jesse and JB, right? Because they're like the reality show stars, if you will. So I wonder if they're going to give them the short end of the stick as far as like who and when you got to play. Like, that's going to be the $1 million question. I wonder, I kind of want to see where they'll be set as in bracket wise and things of that nature too. I enjoyed E-League. I would definitely, if there's a season 3 of E-League, I'd definitely watch it again. And then I heard that they released the full footage of the matches, so that's cool too. That's probably the only gripe I had was maybe show more matches. And if you're really trying to teach people stuff, then teach them. Don't not teach them. I didn't like that. Like, if you're gonna teach people plays, like it had little pop-ups, but like have more meaningful pop-ups if you want to showcase people the world of fighting games and like the terminology that Sajam and Tasty Steve, who were literally verbatim right behind me, were talk about. You know what I mean? That's my only gripe though. I love the event. It was E-League was super dope, the Challenger Series, and I expect every single player to level up from that. I mean, Rob just got 25th or so, or no, I think he got 13th at Texas Showdown. So I think he's going to Combo Breaker. I'm really excited to see Combo Breaker. Speaking of which, Combo Breaker, as you see it in the background, I tried something different to have something playing in the background. I didn't want to show the whole thing, because I feel like that's their footage too. But I don't know, we'll see. Combo Breaker is an event that sadly I think I will not be attending. I gotta get my ish together too. So like the next event I really want to attend the CEO. So like the video, go watch old videos, watch every single Capcom tour recap by your boy. Donation hit the United Negro Foundation, you know what I'm saying? PayPal, Brian Heard, ii17@gmail.com. But yeah, this was the event I really wanted to go to. This was the #1 event. I wanted to go to Evo. Evo was #1, but this event was the 1B. Like, for real. I mean, it's the closest one to me. It's the biggest one. And everybody shows love to the Midwest. I feel like the event is godlike because of the things that they're doing. Like, I think KI got a pop bonus, so KI is going to be big this year. I think KI was in the hundreds. Super sick. Injustice 2, the Injustice Pro Series is beginning this year, or this week. So we're going to have like 200 plus players in that. They actually supported MKX and MK9. They got pop bonuses. I don't know if Injustice is going to be there. There's going to be a whole bunch of anime. I think Skullgirls is going to be at this event. Like, there's so many games at this event that it's actually crazy. And then obviously we're going to have the other regions outside of the US there, but all 50 states are actually represented at this event too. Like, I don't know if any tournament's done that before besides Evo. Like, that's crazy. That, like, it's super sick that Combo Breaker is getting the love it deserves and it cherishes. And I think it's pretty. Well, no, I don't think there's been a lot of Combo Breakers. I stand corrected. For some reason, I thought there's going to be a lot. But yeah, man, if you're in the Chicago area or if you have a chance to go to Combo Breaker, please do. That's an event that I'll owe everything. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Once I get my ish together, get my actual life together, I don't care if I have to work for free. I'm going to work for Combo Breaker. Like, that's the #1. And I gotta get Frosty Faustings and KIT back because I had a chance to work and actually do commentary at those events, but I didn't get gold. So I regret that too. But yeah, man. Yeah, I gotta go. And before I end the video, I forgot to mention that the CPT standings, I wanted to go over that just now. A lot of changes since the last time we talked about the CPT standings. I mean, not too much changes, but yeah, obviously with there being another premiere event, shook some things up. So let's talk about it. Okay, so for first place, actually wouldn't be first. Well, it depends if he had gone to a different event. It depends if he had gone to the premiere event. But first place, without question of doubt, Tokido with 1280, and also he got 150 points. And this is going into Combo Breaker, so Combo Breaker is going to shake even more things up. I can't wait for it. Infiltration was second place, 1130 with 270 points from this weekend. And then Fujimara takes third. Like I said before, all you had to do was win a premiere, and boom, now you're in third with 990. 700 points this past weekend. And then Knuckle Dude with fourth place with 440. Took third at the Toryuken event, so he got 40 points. And then look at that too. The gap between Knuckle Dude and Fujimara is 550 points. And that's just third and fourth. So I feel like the top is going to be so crazy, and then the bottom's going to be like fighting for crumbs. It's about to be ridiculous. Daigo in fifth, which is actually really not too far behind Knuckle Dude with 160. Berlin at sixth with 370. NL at seventh with 311. Fudo with 300 even at 8. Oil King, after his dominant performance, taking third, is actually 9th. And then Gachikun is 10th with 261, and Oil King is at 280. And some noticeables and gain, like pluses and minuses as far as like spots go. I didn't actually look at their official spot. I just wanted to look at the game. Aquino, the guy I played that I was talking about earlier that did well at Stunfest, that got 5th. 57 spots! And he got 5th place at a premiere. 57 spots, bro! Good God! John T up 32 spots. Salty Kid up 21 spots. Oil King up 18 spots. Justin Wong with 13 spots. Hella games. Some big drops. Cool Kid, who was kind of the last person in. And this is also because Cool Kid hasn't gone to any event since final round. But I mean, he got 9th at final round. So Cool Kid is in Chicago. He's going to be at Combo Breaker. So I expect Cool Kid to do well. I expect that 9 to actually be right back in it as far as the CPT standings. I'd be surprised if Cool Kid doesn't get. I'll be surprised if Cool Kid doesn't get any points. That's wild. So I think that's got to finish top 33. That's easily cool. I can see it doing that. Especially with Abigail. The way he plays Abigail, like, woo! Rolino, -6, or like 6 spots down. And Chris T's 6 spots down. I had to pick these guys too because some of the other guys, obviously, with some guys jumping from all the way up to the bottom to the top, like it's gonna move some guys a lot more than others. So I had to pick guys that were relatively closer to the top, if you will. So it's not them saying that there's other guys with 9 spots down, but Cool Kid was only the one like in real contention, and then Paulinho and Chris T were the only ones that were kind of close to the top. So I had, you know what I'm saying? Like I had to pick the right guy. Like I can't just pick somebody. Anyway, y'all get what I'm saying. And then the first 4 out is actually an interesting thing. And the craziest thing too is John T moved up 32 spots, the second most of the weekend. But he's the first 4 out. He's part of the first 4 out, like NCAA style. John T, Ricky Ortiz, Smug, and Itabashi Zangi are the first 4 out. And those are quality people. Those are people who could probably win a ranking if they went to the right event. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. But yeah, that'll be it. Please enjoy Combo Breaker, watch Combo Breaker. If you see someone that I know that I'm cool with, like El Chicote, Rob TV, I don't think Alex is gonna be there. Cool Kid, Trey F, Eric C. Shouts out to my brothers. Hopefully they do well. Cheering for you, root for you. Tell them Bheard said what's up. Bheard gonna be at the event, so I apologize to Combo Breaker staff. CEO's the goal. try to go see you. But until next time, peace.